Your assignment will be coming shortly. I've just taken the enemy 4 targets and I've placed them into very close proximity to where enemy 4 is, so that you should be patrolling around this particular area. Now, some enemies you might want them to patrol over a really wide area, pretty much over the entire map. And other enemies like this one, you might want them to patrol over shorter areas. There's a greater chance that this enemy is going to walk to this target and then turn around and walk to this target, and then maybe turn back and walk to that target. So wherever you're going, as you're trying to sneak past this enemy, at any time he could actually turn in your direction and see you and come running. Okay, so it makes these stealth even more interesting. So just take your enemy 4 targets and just put them into very close proximity area like this. Then what we need to do is basically make sure that we've got this nav cube working again. So let's just switch the nav cube on first of all, and then we need to modify this script, so this enemy attack script. So just make sure that the nav cube is in this patrol slot, and then let's just double click this. So we go into the script. So we said that patrol game object set active should be false to begin with. Let's change that to true. And I think we commented it out. We did. Let's just uncomment that. So we're patrol game object set active to false. So as soon as he's spotted you, he stops patrolling and now he's chasing you full on. Okay, so that's all we need to do. So let's save that. Everything should work fine. If there are any issues, just ensure that the box collider around the nav mesh agent is bigger than the nav mesh agent. So at the moment I can see that this box collider around the character is actually smaller than the cylinder. So what I might need to do with that box collider is just make, oops, that's that one. Oh, that's okay. The nav cube doesn't have the controller on there. But what I could do with a nav cube anyway, let me just click on enemy 4 and then nav cube. I can make this box bigger, so I might just need to click on nav cube itself. So let me just make this bigger. Almost. Needs to be a little bigger still. Yeah, now it's coming out of the sides of this nav mesh agent, just so that the character can actually trigger those targets and everything. That will also give us a little bit of extra space. So in the next video I'll be showing you how to make the stop animations when he stops at one of these triggers look more fluid and more natural. So at the moment they are a little bit unnatural. So your task, your assignment, is to move all of your other enemies, so ensure that they're enabled, into good positions throughout the map. Okay, so you're thinking about the player experience. So for example, if this is where the first character is, as soon as he comes into this area, let's say that he decides to run into the churchyard. So you might want to place an enemy somewhere around here. It's quite a good likelihood that the player is then going to encounter this enemy. If the player has decided to come down this way, maybe down into this area, you might want to place an enemy down here somewhere. You might even want to place an enemy somewhere around the back of this house, perhaps even going into the house itself. Alright, so place some targets inside. You may want an enemy to be walking all the way up this path here, up to this particular house. So just decide where you want the enemies to be going, and then play through it with your player to see how likely it is that you're going to get spotted and you're going to get into some combat situation, and try out the stealth to see if it's working accurately. Okay, so that's your assignment, to move the enemies and the target cubes, and don't forget that you're going to have to create one of these nav cubes for every enemy. Okay, so if you remember how to do it, just right click on the enemy and create a nav cube, and then just move this enemy move script. So at any point you can just copy component, and then wherever you need to copy and paste as new, paste component as new. and everything should move appropriately. Okay, and obviously just make sure that you put the enemy attack script onto the enemy, change the radius of the nav mesh agent, change the box collider size, and make sure that you've associated all this with these kind of numbers into this script for each enemy. Okay, we're going to review this in the next video, and I'm going to look at that animation system for that enemy.